Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel here in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I met up with Sarah, and Sarah has a really cool DIY camper van conversion. She's going to give us a tour of today, so join us.
Hello everybody, my name is Sarah and I want to invite you to explore my conversion van that I lived in for pretty much 2 years traveling all over the USA. So I'm in a Walmart parking lot right now and you're probably wondering why. I don't actually like to sleep here so much. I'd rather be sleeping in a park or on a beach, but I need to come here to fill up my water because I'd rather have some purified water instead of water from a hose. So I come here to this funnel and I can pour my water into here, which goes into this 15-gallon water tank. This is just extra stuff for inside of the engine. I have a bucket for just in case I need to do a DUI shower. Most of the times I shower at the gym or friends or at the park, but if I needed to, I can hook up here a shower curtain to both sides of the doors. I put a magnet inside connecting to the rope, and then I can just do a really quick shower. So coming in, I always take off my shoes because this is my house. I like to keep it clean. And you're welcome inside as well. So first I got my kitchen right here. This is the stove and an oven. It is powered by propane. The propane tank is down here. And I even have a fire extinguisher just in case. And this is a foot pump. So I can use a sink and wash the dishes or my hands. And I got soap right here. And I like to use biodegradable soap like Dr. Bronner's because it's better for the environment and I'm on the road. So up here, I've got a light for the stove, a vent fan. I even have fire alarm up here. I've got my little oven mitt, teapot. I got a banana hammock. This is like breakfast for me. Every morning, wake up, eat bananas, and I'm ready to go. To keep it cool, up here is where the switch is to turn on the lights and the fan. I turn this button on and then I can set it up to 5 speeds and this will start pulling the air as long as I have these windows up back here open, and that will cause circulation and it will get really cool in here just like an AC. And if it's really hot, I can even turn on this fan that turns around. And then I've got cabinets up here where I love to keep my toiletries. Got a mirror. This is all the stuff that I bring to the gym in and out. Now I got my conditioner. And then over here, this is pretty cool. I have a magnet attached to this, hooks up to the wall, and I can put a tablet, iPad inside here, and I could just sit down and watch my shows or do some work like this at my desk. And then if I want to have a meal with someone or myself, I can pull this out and I have a table. One can sit here, another one can sit here, and then I have a fold-up chair and someone can sit here. So I can have 3 people eating in here, which I've done before. We've even all been in here cooking. The walls and ceiling were all marbleized like watercolor paint. So these panels were dropped inside of like a plastic container filled with water and the paint that you marbleize, just like you did when you were a kid. So over here, I have my truck fridge. It's awesome because it's got a black light. Don't need to turn on the lights if I need something at night. Got some food in there to snack on. And then up here, I like to keep produce because it's aerated, so it doesn't get moldy. And then I also have this little drawer where I keep like the lighter for the stove, and I'll have utensils inside. These drawers are really deep. They're empty right now, but I like to keep, you know, teas, supplements, spices inside. And then over here under the bed, this is the best drawer ever. Right now, I'm keeping inside the empty water jugs to fill up my tank with. But if you see, it's huge. You could fit an entire suitcase in there, like a carry-on suitcase or a backpack. So that's great. You can just open your suitcase and pull your clothing out. And then under here, you can see I have the inverter. You turn it on like this. It goes up to 13 watts because it's solar paneled. You only need to turn that on if you want to plug in appliances like a hand blender or a toaster or your computer or cell phone or, you know, maybe a speaker. But other than that, everything is powered by the sun. The solar panels are on top here, and I also have a battery doctor that connects the battery from the front to the battery in the back, which is underneath the bed. So those are powering the lights, the fan, and the fridge, and that is always on. I also have a little drawer here, which has just more bedding in its side. And then up here, I have these cabinets where I'm keeping my clothing. And then up here, I have this rope because if it's really cold at night and you're in the desert of Texas in the winter, you might need to put a sheet or blanket here to get some more insulation when you're sleeping, since I do not have a heater. The heat is only in the front of the car. It will get back here if you leave it running, but you don't want to do that while you're sleeping. Over here, I have little fairy lights. They're really cute at nighttime, kind of like a night light. And these curtains are amazing because they're actually insulated and they have on the corners and sides magnets. So they snap right on to the metal outlining of the window. This way, when I have the lights on in here at nighttime, no one can see inside and it looks like my windows are completely blacked out. This is also a window over here. I don't usually open it because I just like it cozy. And it also helps keep the sun out so it stays cooler in here. Also, same thing, it keeps it warm in here. At nighttime, sometimes, if I have to, I will sleep at a truck stop or in a Walmart parking lot. Not preferred, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and there tends to be a lot of noise, so I always have my white noise machine here. Goes on for about 45 minutes, and I'm usually asleep before it even ends. This bed is extremely comfortable. I can easily fit 2 other bodies if I had to, but I would say 2 people is the most comfortable. Having a snuggle buddy is nice, especially when it's cold. And if it gets really cold, it's good to have one of those mattress toppers to help insulate even more. But I've taken it off because it's hot out right now. Here's another drawer right now. I just have my backpack in it, but I like to keep my plates and my pots inside here because it's very close to the kitchen. And over here, I have a fold-up chair that I was saying. This can go right over there so someone can eat with me, or I'll stand on it when I'm filling up the water tank because I'm short if I don't have a helpful hand. Back here, I have more outlets and the fuses. So like I said, if I need to plug anything in, I'd have to turn the inverter on in order to use those outlets. Then I have this secret box, which has never been used, but in case of an emergency, if you need a toilet, there's one right here. All you gotta do is put a plastic bag inside of this container and then throw that away. And I store the toilet paper down here. You could store anything you want down there. But most people think it's just a nice, comfy chair. And now I can have a conversation with my best buddy. Over here, I've got some really deep cabinets. There's nothing inside this one right now. I got some books inside. And over here, I store my shower curtain that I was mentioning. I also have these hooks up here where I usually hang up my jacket when I first get in because it's just like a house. Put my keys, have more hooks here. Sometimes I hang up towels to dry. I even have a hook here going all the way across to that side, and I'll put a rope if I ever am in a rush and I don't have enough time to stay at the laundromat and wait till my clothing is fully dried. These are curtains just like the ones I showed you back there. Completely black everything out and keep it insulated. You know, if it's really hot and it's summertime and I leave the AC on, I'll open these up to try to get it cooler over here, plus all the fans, and then shut this so it gets trapped. But also, this way no one knows that I live back here. This floor, I'm always sweeping it every night. Got a little dustpan broom right here. Before I go to bed, I clean my floor because I want to have clean feet in my bed and no sand. And then the windows open like this. And this is great because then it stays ventilated even when I'm not in the van. This side I usually don't keep open when I'm away because the lock is here, and these are like manual, not like the cars today. So I'll usually keep this one open because no one can reach in. And same thing with the back side of the van as well. All right, every time I leave the van, I gotta make sure I lock it, close up all of the curtains, because I like traveling incognito. This is a 1994 Econoline van, 150, and before it was a van for a handicapped person, so that ramp got taken out and we installed the high top. This is the back side, and I got these really deep drawers. I used to put all of my camping gear in this one. Here is my emergency toolkit, ropes, all kinds of tools. And here I have the jack, and before I had my longboard in here. I wanted all the outdoor equipment to be easily accessible from the back side so I didn't have to take my shoes off every time.
Sarah, thank you very much for taking the time to give us a tour of your DIY camper creation. Now, in the video you mentioned you put the top on?
I did not, my friend did, but it wasn't originally there.
So they found an old conversion van or camper van that had a top that might have been in the junkyard or salvage yard, and we were able to put it on here. That's pretty neat, because that really opens up the floor plan quite a bit. Yes,
and then they added the solar panels to it, which is amazing.
That really makes a difference. And you're running how many watts of solar?
It has 200 watts of solar.
And how many batteries do you have back here?
I only have one battery, and like I said, there's the battery in the front that the battery doctor connects that one.
So that's when you start the engine, the alternator could charge that battery?
Yes.
Well, that's great, because you might get some days, several days in a row where you have cloud coverage.
Right. Yeah, there's times at night where you're not getting any energy, and having the car running, I mean, why wouldn't you if you're traveling?
True. You're driving to the next destination, you drive 5 hours, you could recharge that back battery.
Yep.
So, can you share any tips with our viewers after your 2-year experience living in a van on the road? Some of the stuff that you just had to learn while you're out on the road that you just didn't know?
Oh yeah, for sure. really pay attention to where you're parking at night. Cops love to pick on you, especially if you're from out of state. So whenever you're driving in a different state, always make sure you're driving the speed limit and that you're parked in a safe place. Also, if you're ever interacting with a cop, don't get all defensive and mad, because then they're just gonna wanna search you more. So I always was very calm and just saying like, hey, I'm really tired, I just needed a sleep spot, but if I need to move, do you have a recommendation of somewhere safe for me to go instead, because your job is to protect us. So I was kind of like putting the cops in their place, and a lot of the times they recommended me really good places to go. They even one time called like all the cops in the area to say like, hey, this van is staying in this parking lot tonight, like please leave her alone. And that was amazing, because before I was parked in a dangerous place, I had no idea. It seemed fine to me, but the reason they picked on me was because other people would come there to do dangerous things.
That's a great tip. That is something I didn't even know to. If they come over and ask you to leave, you could just ask for help to see where you can stay. They might know the area better, and they might suggest a spot. That's a great tip.
Yeah.
So any other tips for the viewers on like the build, maybe stuff that needed to be changed after it was done being built out?
Yeah, so my friend originally, he didn't tell me what kind of fan he installed in the ceiling, but it looked like one of those fans that belonged in a computer, like 2 of them or 3 of them. And it didn't really pull a lot of energy, so we installed this fan from like an RV shop online, and this works a lot better. And what else? Like I fixed the cabinets. The ones where I said I put produce inside before was just a regular cabinet like the one next to it. And I was noticing that my produce was getting rotted really fast because I can't really control the temperature of the vehicle when I'm not in it, and I was using the fridge space for everything else. So doing that helped a lot. I eat mostly fruits and vegetables, so it's important for me to have as much space for that as possible.
Sounds like someone's going nuts with their horn over there. Maybe they just can't try in their vehicle. Anyway,
yeah.
So what's next for you? You're 2 years into your journey. You're back home now? Is this home?
So this is not home, but it's close enough. Home is Connecticut, and I moved here because I have a boyfriend now that lives here, and I found this job that I wasn't expecting to find, but it's like the perfect fit for me. It's a yoga studio and a cafe. And so I was like, you know what? I always dreamt of this. It's time for a new chapter in my life, and as much as I love this van, like, it's time for someone else to enjoy it. I don't want her to just like sit there and wait for me to use her. You know, right now I need more of like a commuter vehicle, where before I was on the road trip for pretty much 2 years straight, so I use this all the time, and this is definitely my baby. It's my woman cave, and I'm, like I said, sad to let her go, but I hope that somebody's gonna appreciate her just as much as I did and take good care of her.
Well, thank you for giving us a tour of your camper van conversion. I'm sure that adventuring is not done once the van sells, and you're going to be doing a lot of new adventures. And I'm sure some of the viewers are going to want to be able to follow you. How would they get in touch with you? And maybe for the sale of the van, if they're interested in the listing.
Yeah, so of course I'm always going to be up for adventure. That's totally my life. I'm going to backpack and camp around forever. But if you're interested in getting the van, there's going to be a link below with some of my contact information, and you can find me there. But also feel free to look me up on Instagram at tibsar27. That's TIBSAR 27.
Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, comment, share, and subscribe. I love it. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.